So the United States Republic as we know it is over. In fact, it's going to be exactly over when it hits the big 250, right? So once it hits the big 250, that will be the end of the Republic era of the United States of America. And we'll be shifting into the dictatorial United States, right? Everybody knows this. It's like, to my conspiracy-minded friends, we know why there was no, hand on Bible. We know why this is more of a triumvirate, like in the Roman days. We know Elon with the Roman salute. By the way, it's a Roman salute, nothing to do. Many copiers after that, but we know it's a Roman salute. We know the fasci of the Lincoln Memorial statue, there's two sides of it. It's everywhere. United States was modeled after Rome. Pretty much every nation that has the flag with the colors of red, white and blue, from France to Russia, you name it, was mostly modeled from that era of the Roman Empire. And we all know they all used the eagle as the sign and the arrows as the sign, and SPQR and whatnot, and the red and the blue and the two sides and the left side and the right side. It's all known at this point. It's like, if you don't know it, then I don't know where you've been living. The issue is, what does it matter, right? What is it? Why do we care, right? Why do we care if you're still overweight, if you don't have a business, if you're paying taxes, too much taxes, right? It doesn't matter, because the real question is, with all the conspiracies that we see around, and we found new ones again and again, it's just a big waste of time if you feel that there's nothing you can do about it and nothing that will change. It's just a big downward spiral for you to end in, so it's completely useless. So instead of that, I'm going to offer you something new that maybe you should think about. Well, first of all, making sure that everybody knows what's up is okay, because that way we can ridicule it, right? We can ridicule how stupid the 15-minute cities are and how stupid the credit system that they want to implement, and ridicule it. That's how you kill the king, through the jester, right? The king archetype and the jester archetype. Fairly easy. So as long as you can ridicule it, you can either, one, prevent it, two, make it go bust as soon as they implement it, or even better, never to be implemented at all, because everybody knows about it and it's not going to be a surprise for everyone. The problem is that many of you, or many of us, don't care, right? The thing is that if we live in the TikTok generation, where literally TikTok means that every second of your attention is taken away by BS, then that's where you are, right? So that's not how you're gonna save humanity, right? Or waiting for this new president or ex-president or whoever that you're gonna do is like gonna do a big thing, a big show. The only person you can save is you. And by you saving yourself, right, what you're going to achieve is most likely inspire other people to do the same. There are no saviors coming other than yourself, right? And if you follow your heart's desire and you're a kind person and you do believe in Jesus Christ the Lord, you will be saved, right? You will be saved through the energy that rises within you, and with that, you will hopefully, the micro will be reflected in the macro, and more people will do the same. And that is the plan, right? But in the meantime, threatening or being afraid what's going to be happening in X amount of time, or this vaccine or that self-driving car, and this, you losing your freedoms this way or you losing your freedoms that way, it only adds fuel to the fire, because fear is an emotion. And whatever you fear or love, it doesn't matter, because you're fueling it. The more you fear it, the more you draw it into your reality. It's absolutely, completely stupid. If you don't want something to happen, then, ridicule it, and then after that, just ignore it as stupid. And that's what we need to do. We do need to wake up. I'm not going against that. We do need to wake up. We do need to raise awareness, but being afraid of of the big change, or what will happen this year or next year, and this document shows this, and if this picture from the right direction, and the hand sign, and it's all just show. They're doing it particularly for you to be entertained, for you to be signaling something, so you either fear it or love it, and you draw it into your attention, and you draw it into your reality. And who does it help? Does it help your son? Were you able to spend more time with your son this morning? Were you able to, you know, teach your daughter something? Were you able to get rid of the matrix that surrounds you, in the sense of work for living and live for work? I don't think so, right? So the more time you waste on this BS, that you're serving absolutely no one, right? What you need to be focusing on, from my point of view, is you bettering yourself as a human being, you providing services, you providing lessons to others, and you being the best self that you can be. And through that, you will be free, and you will free others, right? The real chains and the real, you know, bars are within your head. You lock yourself into this personality that they built for you, right? The people who loved you, by the way, people who still love you, your mother, your father, your parents, they have, you know, raised you to have this identity, and this identity you will be sticking to, because that's all what you have, right? Your self-identity is worth so much for you, because that's the only thing you have. And reinventing yourself and getting out of that mold is very hard for the ego, and because of that, many of you don't try to change. Well, I'm inviting you now to change to the person that draws in the future that you want, right? Instead of starting from the past, right? So yeah, you can continue following the signs and the whatevers, but in the end, what does it matter if you didn't change, if you didn't become the best person that you can, right? If you didn't inspire others to become free, what does it do if this big new world order crap does get implemented or doesn't get implemented, because you as a person has probably fallen short of the light that you could have achieved within this lifetime? So, you know, I'm not saying don't pay attention what's going to happen. Sure, pay attention to some degree, and pay attention in the sense of share what stupidity they're planning and mock them. You know, that's the best way you can, as a person, make sure that they themselves who are trying to implement the BS will realize what they're trying to achieve. But being afraid of AI too much doesn't help it, because it just fuels that AI and others around you will go into the direction that you exactly fear. You're just going to draw more of that in, right? Here's the thing, we as a human or species are going through steps of evolution. And by evolution, I'm not talking about the idiotic Darwinian evolution model. I'm talking about the spiritual evolution. And by that, just like with any stage of your life, it happens in steps, and we're kind of at the precipice of the next step, right? And it just goes like that for a long time, and then we step again, and it goes like that for a long time, and we're probably in this next step where we have to realize that life is more than what this flesh body that you're in, or you're moving about in this physical plane, that life is more about what you fear, what you eat, what you love, and doing, and just walking around in this 3D space, right? It's more about the learning experience and the experience within you, what you live, the lived experience within you, and what you make of it, right? And how do you share that with others? So I would say focus on that more, and see the world change around you as you work on yourself, physically and spiritually, because one is just a shadow of another. That's what I think, at least anyway, literally a shadow, because a shadow is a two-dimensional shape or casting of a higher dimension, right? So if you move your hand, it's a three-dimensional object. The shadow is the two-dimensional object. Well, you can think about your physical body as the three-dimensional shadow of your spirit in 3D, right? So work on your physical body, because as you move the shadow, you're trying to move the shadow, your hand will have to move. And work on your spiritual body, because you're moving your shadow, or you're moving your hand and the shadow will move. So what to do? Well, did you work out today? Did you eat good food today? Did you spend enough time today with your family and loved ones? Did you share something knowledgeable with anyone else? Right? Connect with other people. They are just merely reflections of yourself. Why not spend time on this? And the rest will fall where it may need to be, right? The rest will align as you align yourself with the best version of yourself. And believe me, things will change in that order. But first you need to focus on where you can make change, and that is going to be within you and within your family and your smaller community and your greater community, and then the world. I hope this helps you. I know it will.